International Women's Day is upon us, and we've decided to sit down with one of the most talked about women in Lebanon at the moment, Paula Yacoubain, who is a candidate for the upcoming parliamentary elections. A veteran Lebanese journalist of Armenian descent, in her over 20 years of career, Paula has covered many international breaking news and has interviewed world presidents, prominent political and cultural figures, and most recently, the head of Future TV, Prime Minister Saad Hariri, after his shock resignation in Saudi Arabia. Her endeavors don't stop there. A philanthropist and an advocate for environmental change, she launched DEFA in 2015, a charitable drive that assisted over 100,000 underprivileged families in Lebanon. Starting a new chapter, it was only natural that she joined one of the frontrunners of the civil society political movements running for elections. What made you choose the Sabah civil society movement as opposed to any other?
I've been talking to the society movement in Lebanon since last summer. Some of the factions came to me and they told me, we hear you over future and we feel that we are close. We have same ideas on many levels. You even defended Beirut Madinati once and twice, many times. So I told them, yes, I do. And I think that it is time for change in Lebanon. And they were trying to tell me what their plans are. And then I said, wait a second. No matter what you do, I'm sure you can't do as bad as what's happening right now. The failure in our country is so big. Someone needs to take the lead and someone needs to say enough. It is time for change. It is time for real opposition in the country. They're very excited about politics, about the country, and they're really willing to do something. And they're very well organized. And they are persistent, consistent. And you can see right now the attack over Sabah. Everyone is asking who they are, who's giving them money.
How are they funded?
How they are funded.
How do you respond to that question when people ask you how they're
when
funded?
you hear the labels they're putting for Sabah, when you hear how they're trying to say that they're funded by the Russians, the Syrians, the Iranians, and then the U.S. Embassy, too many people, and then you realize there's something wrong. You know, even contradictory powers in the region are funding Sabah. This is funny. It became ridiculous.
Can you answer the question of who is funding Sabah clearly?
Sabah is answering the question on their website. Everyone can go to the website and read the names of the people funding Sabah. One thing I'm sure about, no outside powers are funding Sabah. This is something I'm very sure about.
It's the people funding the people.
Let me tell you, I'm sure that the guys in Sabah are funding Sabah. Jad Dagher and some of his friends are the ones funding Sabah. Outside powers, Yumna, they feel very comfortable working with the powers in Lebanon. Iranians, they have their people in Lebanon. They're not willing to fund anyone else. They don't need anyone else to be funded. Other factions are the same.
Saudi Arabia, same thing.
Everyone has its own people here and they're funding their own people.
Do you believe that there can be an independent, a truly independent political party or even civil society movement in Lebanon?
I do believe them, and I believe in them because they're the only choice I have right now. You need to show that there is someone who's saying no. Since the moment we leave our house, Yumna, we are humiliated every second from the traffic, from the air we are breathing, from the water we are drinking, our food, we don't know how it's irrigated. The amount of pollution in Lebanon, the amount of corruption in Lebanon is unbearable. Yeah. It is unbearable. And now again we have elections. If we go, Yumna, and we say to the same political caste, again, we are giving you our voices because we have no other choice, because we like you, because you are the Zaim. If we do this again, they will not change their behavior. The only way to have behavior change is accountability. It's either people will tell them in this election, especially in this election, after 9 years of no elections, yes, there are people in Lebanon and they will stand against you and they have a voice and their voices matter, or it is lost for generations and generations. It will keep on having the same result.
Do you know what the plan is, what the program is? Any specifics you can share with us?
The program is, right now, there's one program on Sab'a website. However, there's another program we're working on, and it's going to be out in a few days. It's for Tahaluf Watani, Coalition My Country. It's a program for all Lebanon, for all the lists that will run in the whole country.
Okay. Regarding Future TV, you gave one of the most, what you call the toughest interview of your life in November, and then in January, you resigned.
I wanted to resign way before that, Yumna. I tried to leave many times, and they asked me to stay, and I stayed. And then I wanted to leave right after the interview, and everybody was like, "No, you can't leave right now. There's so many rumors in the country. Everybody's saying something." That's why I had to stay a little bit more, just to try to calm things down and to be able to talk again with President Hariri, which is something that I did. And I told him that I wanted to leave. He asked me to stay, and then I told him the same day that I'm gonna present my resignation tonight, and this is how I did it. And then I did it with my own voice and my own picture live on TV, so we don't hear again rumors and rumors. And next day there was rumors. I gave a lot. And those people that I worked with, Future TV, were also very good to me. I was very comfortable, and there was some restrictions maybe who I can interview with the names. But whatever I did, it was my choice, and I had the liberty to do it. And too many people were telling President Hariri that sometimes maybe I'm too harsh on
some
future
interviewees.
Yes, 14 March interviewees, and he was telling them that's journalism. Well, let her do whatever she's doing.
What is your relationship today with Prime Minister Saad Hariri?
I have good relations with everyone. It's their approach, towards me. I understand if it's different, and it's okay because I'm running against all the political parties that are here, that are especially in Ashrafiyeh, and I think it's our right to do that. And I don't think Hariri in person has a problem, because I was very clear and honest since day one. Everything I did, I was telling him what I'm doing and who I'm talking to. I was really very clear about it, Yumna, and I have no doubt that he understands very well my motives and why I'm doing that, and my right, of running and being with those people, because these are my anaati.
These are your beliefs.
These are my beliefs.
Yeah. The critics that say that if elected, you could maybe rejoin Hariri, or those who criticize saying, well, what is her relationship now with Hariri?
This is, again, the conspiracy theory. It is really funny for me. I'm very clear about my choices, and I don't lie to people, and I will never lie to them. And, well, I don't know how to answer something that low and stupid. Who would do this? I will not jeopardize my reputation and my credibility. This is very dear to me and very valuable for me. I will never do that.
Does it hurt you?
It hurts me a lot. Yes, it does hurt me, because I feel that we don't believe anything anymore. As if we lost hope, as if nobody's credible. There is this constant desperation in Lebanon, and we cannot build a country if we keep on, losing faith in everything, not believing in anything, or just resigning from our duties. It's important now to be engaged. Lebanon needs its own people. Nobody will save us. Nobody will save us.
We have to save ourselves.
Exactly.
Do you think the fact that you're a woman running, and that some people still, till this day, don't like to see women in power, do you think that plays a role in the attacks against you and the accusations?
Unfortunately, it does play a role, and sometimes a negative role. You can see on social media what's happening. You say something purely political, and then they'll start asking questions about your lifestyle, the way you live, about your choices. They will tell me, well, you're divorced, as if this is also an accusation or this is something like wrong. I mean, yes, we live in a difficult society, but I have faith also in our youth, and I'm thinking that this time the elections, it's a Pandora box. We don't know what to expect. People will go to vote, they will look at the names. They gave so many chances before to the same political caste. I think this time they might think differently. They might surprise us.
If I were to ask you, who is Paula Yacoubain and why should we vote for her? That's the typical election question. How would you answer that?
I'm a journalist since 23 years. I've been working in Lebanese current affairs for too long. And I also participated with the civil society in many activities, cleaning the sea, the underwater. I tried to raise awareness on our environment and what's happening to the sea, to our rivers. We can all see the results. And then what was for me very, very difficult to understand and to handle, it was when they opened again the garbage landfill in Burj Hamoud. For me it was outrageous because I know how much people struggled to close that place, and then they opened it with no criteria whatsoever. They're just taking the garbage, putting it there without sorting. We saw the results on our shores. So for all of that, I had the choice either to keep on, watching what's happening and nagging like everyone else, or I had the choice to say, okay, there's a price to pay. I'll pay that price, and I'll try to do something. Give the civil society movement more exposure. Tell the people that what they're doing, because Yumna, we have all to know it's very difficult to stand against the political caste. Again, they're very powerful, they're very strong, they have money, they have the media, they own almost everything. The services, anything you need, you have to go and ask for it. We have no rights as citizens. We have no rights. You cannot be opposition in Lebanon and still have rights. Even those who call themselves opposition, they're not opposition. They're angry people because they didn't get their share from the cake.
Are you ever afraid?
I am. I'm scared. But I have to continue, and I will fight till the end, because 10 years from now, I will look back, and no matter what the outcome is, I will say that I tried. At least I tried to do something. There are things to lose, but I can live with the worst case scenario. They're calling some of my clients, asking them not to work with me. I can still live with that. They can try to fight me, but I can fight back. What's killing me the most is then they fight my friends. Some of my friends are already feeling the pressure. They're telling them, let Paula do this for you and do that for you. They're not asking for favors. They're asking for something that's rightful within ministries, within their normal daily work. So this is something that's very saddening for me.
You mentioned that they attacked you in terms of a woman who's divorced. You also happen to be a mother of a boy, Paul. How much does Paul's future, do you consider it when you think, I want to do something for the country as a mother?
Well, I see my friends, they get pregnant and they looking for a place to go and deliver. They don't even consider Lebanon. Whoever has the means, they go and find, a safety net for their children, which is a foreign passport. And then if they can't have this luxury, they look for a visa later on to send them abroad and work abroad. It can't continue. It can't continue like that. We have this debate almost every day, Wafa and I. He wants also Paul to go and live abroad, to be, a citizen like everyone else, not the son of Wasta. Wasta in Lebanon, you know how big it is, unfortunately. So I do have Wasta in Lebanon, but it should not be like this. We should be all of us normal citizens. We should be equal. And this is what I'm fighting for. Well, now I don't think I have wasta anymore, which is not a bad thing. But I want Paul to have the choice of staying here if he wants to stay here, because he loves his country. He doesn't know any other country. He's been here since he was born, and his friends are here, school is here, everything is here. So we have always this rupture. They finish school, and we look for a way to send them abroad. This is very painful. This is a real country for us. This is where we should have a future, or have at least, you know, the choice to stay here.
You've heard about the Me Too movement taking over all across the globe. I wanted to specifically ask about women in media, because even for myself, you know, you get questions sometimes that are insulting and abusive. How did you make it to be an anchor? How did you, and you climbed to the top of your career, and I'm sure you faced some form of sexual harassment. How do you overcome this in a country like Lebanon?
I think every woman in Lebanon has faced sexual harassment at a certain time. It's difficult to say Me Too in Lebanon. I say it. I say Me Too, yes. But it wasn't, you know, it was sometimes with words, sometimes a little bit more. You learn how to handle it, and how to shame them and stop them at one point. But I think the Me Too movement should arrive to Lebanon, because we should talk. We cannot face things if we don't talk about it. There should be no taboos, enough hypocrisy, and trying to hide things that shouldn't be hidden. And there's nothing shameful, especially if you're the victim.
I'm sure we have a lot of Me Too, it's just not out in the open. They are ashamed.
Exactly.
But what options do they have?
Well, right now, again, awareness is key. We have to talk about it, and we have to empower women. And I think the more you see women in power, in decision-making, there's no woman in decision-making. The more you see women there, it will automatically empower women. It will give them a voice. It will give them strength.
It takes courage as women to lead change, especially in our part of the world, where constant pressure exists to prove ourselves, no matter the achievements and no matter the titles. However, there's comfort in seeing women take risks with confidence and resilience. And these are the qualities that will finally put a crack into that glass ceiling. If you like this episode of Why Chats and want to see more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click, click, click!